Hello, welcome to News Roundup, where we bring you highlights and key stories. I am Dominion Adeyanju. First, the headlines. Tinubu honors late Audu, restates security priorities. Governor Dodo presents 2026 budget of over 800 billion to Kogi Assembly. EPL title raise heats up. Now the news in details. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has reiterated his administration's commitment to restoring peace, strengthening national security, and expanding economic opportunities across Nigeria. Speaking at a memorial in honor of the former Kogi State Governor Prince Abubakar Audu in Lokoja, the president, represented by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, said recent security measures, including the declaration of state of emergency, demonstrate the government's resolve to protect every Nigerian. He emphasized that the measures are aimed at expanding security, manpower development, modernizing intelligence operations, and strengthening the armed forces. He noted that the administration is also advancing reforms such as the establishment of state police to provide community-focused security solutions and ensure nationwide stability.
We are under no illusions about the recent setbacks and security challenges that have tested our national resolve. The security and welfare of every Nigerian citizen remain the sacred priority of my government. We have therefore taken decisive action. The recent declaration of a state of emergency on national security underscores the gravity with which we view this challenge. This is not a mere proclamation, it is a declaration of war against all forms of insecurity. As part of this, we have immediately begun the process of expanding the capacity of our armed forces and security agencies in numbers, in advanced weaponry and intelligence capabilities. We will hunt the enemies of our state wherever they may be and restore the peace that is rightful inheritance of every Nigerian.
The president described the late Prince Audu as a courageous Democrat and visionary leader whose legacy continues to guide governance in Kogi State. He praised Audu's foresight and contributions to the state and the nation, highlighting the enduring impact of his leadership on democratic evolution in Nigeria. President Tinubu further outlined his administration's priorities for national development, including reforms in agriculture and livestock, expansion of social investment programs, support for youth and small businesses, and modernization of road and rail networks. These initiatives, he said, are aimed at strengthening the economy, connecting markets, and promoting unity and prosperity across the country. Moving on, Kogi State Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo has presented the 2026 appropriation bill to the Kogi State House of Assembly. The proposed budget estimate for the 2026 fiscal year is 820,490,585,443 naira. Addressing lawmakers at the State Assembly complex in Lokoja, Governor Dodo described the financial plan titled the Budget of Shared Prosperity as a people-centered roadmap designed to strengthen infrastructure, enhance human capital development, boost production capacity, and promote enterprise growth across the states. The governor disclosed that the breakdown of the estimate puts the recurrent component of the budget at 367 billion naira, representing 45%, and the capital expenditure of 453 billion naira, which accounts for 55% of the budget, reflecting the administration's emphasis on infrastructure development, agriculture, healthcare, education, and economic expansion. Governor Dodo appealed to the lawmakers for accelerated consideration and passage of the appropriation bill, expressing confidence that the 2026 budget will consolidate ongoing reforms, promote shared prosperity, and strengthen the state's long-term development trajectory.
Our vision is clear: to create an economy that works for every citizen, one that rewards productivity, encourages innovation, and uplift the vulnerable.
Governor Dodo emphasized improved revenue mobilization, recovery of outstanding federal debts, blocking leakages, and enhancing internally generated revenue systems as major priorities for the year. The governor also provided an update on the state's economic performance in 2025, noting that Kogi recorded a GDP growth of 3.8%, while unemployment and poverty indicators improved due to targeted intervention.
Kogi State's real GDP is estimated to have grown by 3.8% in 2025, supported by agriculture, solid minerals, trade, and construction. State inflation averaged 20.4%, slightly below the national rate due to our targeted intervention in food security and energy support. Our unemployment rate improved from 18.6% in 2024 to 16.2% in 2025, following sustained investments in youth empowerment, infrastructure development, and MSME support, the poverty index also declined from 35% to 32%, with notable improvement recorded in rural communities. These indicators confirm that our economic policies are yielding measurable results.
Earlier, Speaker of the Kogi State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Umar Yusuf Aliyu, commended the governor for his strides in infrastructure, public financial management, human capital development, and security of lives and properties. He noted that the 8th Assembly remains committed to a transparent, people-centered budget review process.
Together, we embrace responsibility entrusted to us and work tirelessly to ensure that the dividend of democracy and development reach every corner of our great state.
The State House of Assembly is expected to commence detailed budget review oversight sessions with ministries, departments, and agencies in the coming days. Meanwhile, Kogi State Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo has appealed to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to provide additional air support to reinforce ongoing ground operations aimed at tackling insecurity in the state. Shamsuddin Seriki has the report.
The governor made the call on Tuesday during a security meeting with chairmen of the 21 local government areas at the government house in Lokoja. Governor Ododo explained that the escalation of criminal activities in parts of the state is closely linked to Kogi's unique geography. He noted that the state, which shares boundaries with 10 other states including the Federal Capital Territory, is richly endowed with mineral resources in commercial quantities, has increasingly become a hideout for criminal elements fleeing security pressure from neighboring states.
The security agencies, the ground operations, they are doing excellently well. But going by our locations, we can easily be ambushed. That is why at times we are losing some of our officers, our hunters, and our vigilante. So at this point now, we need air support. I have written a request to Chief of Air Staff, and we are discussing, but we need Mr. President's intervention to come to our aid.
In his remarks, Chairman of the Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, Kogi State, and Executive Chairman of Yagba West Local Government Area, Tosin Olokun, commended Governor Ododo for what he described as sustained and proactive security interventions across the state. He joined the call by the governor in urging the federal government to intensify support to help stamp insecurity out of Kogi State.
When you look at what His Excellency is doing, that's why he's still saving us even in Kogi State. But anytime we call on him, he always acts as quick as possible. Our governor is really trying, but we still need aid from the federal government. So we are appealing to the federal government to come into our aid. We need it as fast as possible.
He assured citizens that the Ododo administration remains firmly committed to protecting lives and property in all parts of the state.
The news roundup is coming to you on Lugat TV. We'll be back shortly. Stay with us.
Welcome to Lugat TV website. Discover stories shaping our world. From exclusive interviews to in-depth analysis and special reports. Politics, sports, entertainment, and so much more. Stay informed, stay ahead. Visit www.lugattv.com, your gateway to the world.
When the world changes by the hour, you need a news that keeps pace.
Hello and welcome to News on Lugat TV.
From local stories that matter to national events shaping our future. This is the pulse of the people, the truth unveiled, the headlines that define today. Join us every weekday for News Hour, only on Lugat TV. Welcome back. Kogi State Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo has renamed the stretch of road from Ganaja flyover to the riverbank in Ganaja community as Prince Abubakar Audu Boulevard. Governor Ododo announced this at the 10th memorial anniversary in honor of the first executive governor of Kogi State, Prince Abubakar Audu, held at the government house in Lokoja. The governor directed the Ministries of Works, Environment and Ecological Management and other agencies of government to ensure that the stretch of road is maintained to a level befitting the legacy of the late former governor.
The Kogi State Town Planning Board and the Kogi State Signage
and advertisement agencies to work with the Kogi State Internal Revenue Service to install befitting signages within 1 week. Furthermore, the Ministry of Work is to commence immediate repairs of all potholes along the route and undertake the installation of street lights. The Ministry of Environment is equally directed to plant flowering trees and beautify the entire stretch as a mark of honor to our late leader. My administration will continue to do all that is feasible to keep alive his dream of a united, peaceful, and progressive Kogi State.
The event attracted a high-profile delegation, including President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who was represented by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris. In his remarks, President Tinubu commended the spirit of continuity in Kogi State, noting the harmonious relationship between Governor Dodo and his predecessors. President Tinubu also praised Governor Dodo for sustaining the legacy of Prince Audu through enduring projects and assured that the federal government remains committed to deepen its partnership with the Kogi State government. He described the late Audu as a steadfast Democrat and visionary leader whose bold style of governance set enduring standards for transformative leadership in Nigeria.
Your Excellency and the good people of Kogi State, the legacy of development that Prince Audu began in Kogi is a model we are determined to replicate and scale across the length and breadth of this country.
Other political leaders, including former Kogi State Governors Alhaji Yahaya Bello and Captain Idris Wada, also paid tribute to the late Prince Audu.
Prince Audu, we have all known, and every speaker have said it, was a visionary. All that interests him is development. So whatever you see us doing today in Kogi State, we took it after late Prince Abubakar Audu. We can't have a legend in this manner who have come to serve us and died in the cause of the service to our fatherland without immortalizing him.
He was a very powerful personality. There's nowhere you are with Audu that you don't feel the impact of his personality. The lesson about leadership, we all struggle to be governor, struggle to be this, struggle to be that. But in the end, what comes after you is what you do for the people while you're in office. So those of you who are striving to be leaders, keep in mind on the final day, what are you going to tell God you did when you were in office?
The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, also extolled virtues of the late Audu as a national figure whose political maturity and administrative foresight earned him widespread respect.
That shows you the love that his people had for him. Audu was one of the very few Nigerians who won elections 3 times. First, democratically elected governor of Kogi. Second, democratically elected governor of Kogi. This was in 1999 when I was also elected by my people to be the governor of Benue State. We worked very closely. He used to call me Joji. Said the charming prince, the charming prince. Audu was at home with all of us, his colleagues.
Minister of Steel Development Traibu Audu, on behalf of the family, expressed gratitude to the President and government of Kogi State for honoring the late Governor Audu.
We are deeply grateful that you have taken the time to celebrate a man whose commitment to public service was key in Kogi State. His legacy projects, vision, and reforms continue to speak for him. And today's gathering reinforces the fact that the work of a true leader never fades.
He described his father as a man of integrity and boldness whose passion for development continued to live after his passing. The Igbo community in Kogi State has formally passed a vote of confidence on Governor Ahmed Usman Odudu, pledging support for his re-election bid in the 2027 gubernatorial election in the state. Victoria Stephen has more.
The endorsement was led by Sunday Nwachukwu, President General of the Igbo community in Lokoja, during the annual Igbo Cultural Day celebration held at the Muhammadu Buhari Square on Monday. Nwachukwu described the event as a unifying platform that strengthens the bond among Igbo residents in the state. He commended Governor Dudu for fostering peace, development, and social cohesion in Kogi, noting that the Igbo community has witnessed renewed tranquility and progress under the current administration. He also extended appreciation to former Governor Yahya Bello for what he described as long-standing support and efforts that have enhanced progress among members of the Igbo community in the state.
We cannot thank you enough for the role you played in the restoring peace into our community, and we are still consolidating on that peace. Your Excellency, you have written your name in gold, and we shall forever be grateful to you. Your Excellency, the Chief Servant of Kogi State, you have proven beyond reasonable doubt that your love for Ndigo is immeasurable and unconditional. You have elevated us from Igbo Community Association to Igbo Federal Constituency. For the first time in history of Kogi State, we have one special advisor, 8 special assistants, and still counting.
In his remarks, Governor Dudu described the Igbo community as peaceful, industrious, and progressive, acknowledging their significant contributions to the economic growth of the state. He expressed gratitude for their consistent support of his administration and highlighted ongoing achievements in infrastructure development, trade expansion, enhanced security, youth empowerment, and entrepreneurship. Governor Dudu also recognized the service of Igbo sons and daughters within his government, particularly Moses Okezie, Director General of Research and Development, for his commitment and contributions. The governor urged the Igbo community to remain steadfast as ambassadors of peace and progress, assuring them that his administration will continue to promote inclusivity, security, and economic opportunities for all residents of Kogi State.
We have enhanced security and community safety, working closely with security agencies and local leaders to ensure a more peaceful environment where businesses can thrive. We have continued to support youth empowerment and entrepreneurship, recognizing that the prosperity of our dear state depends on opportunities for its energetic and industrious young people. We have also invested in governance reform, strengthening institutions, and ensuring that qualified and dedicated individuals, regardless of ethnicity, are given opportunity to serve.
He expressed appreciation to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for his continued support towards the development of Kogi State and for advancing national prosperity, noting that collaboration with the federal government has been instrumental in driving the state's development agenda. I am Victoria Stephen, reporting for Lugat TV.
And on sports, the English Premier League title race is gaining momentum, with Arsenal making the most of Chelsea and Liverpool's recent struggles. The Gunners regained a 5-point lead at the top of the table with a 2-0 win over Brentford, thanks to goals from Mikel Merino and Bukayo Saka, despite latest injury concerns for Declan Rice and Christian Mosquera. Chelsea, on the other hand, suffered a major setback, losing 3-1 to Leeds United at Elland Road. The defeat drops Chelsea to 4th place, 9 points behind Arsenal, making it look increasingly difficult for them to challenge for the title. Liverpool's struggles continued with its 1-1 draw against Sunderland at Anfield. The champions needed a late own goal to salvage a point, leaving them in 8th place, 11 points. These results have significant impact on the title race, with Arsenal now looking like strong contenders to win their first Premier League title since 2004. The weekend results of matches between Arsenal and Aston Villa, Chelsea and Bournemouth, and Liverpool's travel to Leeds will likely have a further impact on the title race, as the Christmas round of fixtures come with more excitement for the fans. And that's it on this week's episode of News Roundup. Until next week, I am Dominion Adeonjo. Thank you for staying with us.